All right, y'all, settle in because what I'm about to break down today is the kind of story that grabs you by the throat from the first second. The drama swirling around Chrisean Rock, the Zeus network. And a tragedy that has the entire internet trying to piece together the truth is nothing short of a storm. And trust me, with every new detail that's dropped online, the whole situation gets murkier, heavier, and way more unsettling. So buckle up because I'm about to walk you through the maze. If you've been keeping up with all the back and forth, and let's be real, most of y'all you already know that Chrisean has been publicly going at it with Lemuel Plummer, the CEO of Zeus Network. Yes, that's Zeus Network, the one known for chaotic reality TV energy. But here's the thing, this isn't your typical celebrity feud. It's not about shade or petty arguments. This one goes deep, involving money issues, alleged threats, and even whispers about a tragic incident that people online haven't stopped talking about. To start, Chrisean has been claiming that Lemuel owes her money straight up, saying she hasn't been paid what she believes she earned. That alone is messy. But things escalated when online claims began circulating, saying that she allegedly issued threats toward him. Again, all alleged and part of the social media speculation. But the fact those accusations exist shows you how tangled this situation already is. But the rabbit hole goes deeper. Rumors, again. Nothing confirmed have been circulating that Lemuel is supposedly prepared to expose something explosive. Alleged involvement between people close to Chrisean and the tragic death of her ex, known online as Ronnie Doe. Let that sink in for a second. These aren't just petty receipts or Instagram stories. These are serious whispers that have the internet spiraling, connecting dots and asking whether there's more to the story. Let's rewind so we're all on the same page. On February 3rd, 2025, around 7:10 p.m., officers in Severn, Maryland, responded to reports of gunshots. When they arrived, they found a man lying in front of a home with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital but sadly pronounced deceased shortly after. The victim was identified as 24-year-old Ronnie McKay, someone known within the social media circles connected to Chrisean. From the start, detectives made it clear this didn't look random. Their preliminary investigation suggested it was a targeted attack. Whoever carried it out didn't stumble upon Ronnie by accident. They came for him specifically. Witnesses described a suspicious vehicle seen earlier that day, almost like the people inside were watching, waiting for the right moment. And according to reports, Ronnie was alone when the shooting happened. Something that makes investigators believe the shooter waited for a moment, when no one else would get caught in the crossfire. The details about the vehicle haven't been publicly released, but witnesses said there were multiple individuals inside. As of now, the case is still open and no arrests have been made. Police have received tips, but aren't releasing their findings yet, which only fuels the online theories. And here's where things shift again. Online chatter claims that investigators tapped the phone of someone considered a major suspect, not officially. But in the world of internet speculation, that person is a man named Quell, who is widely known to be a close associate of Chrisean's circle. Reports floating around social platforms allege that he might have ties to street activity. And because of that, his name has repeatedly come up in theories and discussions. Again, nothing confirmed, just the swirl of online commentary. Videos have even circulated of Quell claiming he had nothing to do with the incident. He said the internet turned him into a target. Detectives visited his grandmother's house. And though police want to question him, they haven't detained him. He insisted he was only in the spotlight because of rumors, not because of any involvement. But people online couldn't help but ask the obvious question. If he's completely uninvolved, why does law enforcement reportedly keep circling back to him? The conversations only intensified when content creators, bloggers, and commentators started linking his name to the tragedy, something that may have amplified the scrutiny around him. And because of his personal connections to Chrisean's family. Some believe investigators might think there's more beneath the surface than what's being publicly shared. This brings us to another emotional layer. Ronnie's mother. When the tragedy happened, she posted online expressing her grief, and people noticed the message she shared felt directed. She wrote about her son's passing and played a track by someone known to be an online rival of Chrisean's, leading many to interpret it as a subtle accusation or at least a pointed message. She hasn't spoken out in lengthy detail, but the little she has said has stirred the internet even more. And the deeper you dig, the more the story expands. Because before Ronnie's passing, there was another situation swirling in the background: the paternity drama. Just months before the shooting, in December 2024, Ronnie allegedly approached Chrisean at a mall to address legal paperwork involving a DNA test. Reports say Chrisean, who was with her child, refused to acknowledge him and eventually contacted authorities claiming she didn't know who he was. That incident went viral, and people online started connecting it to everything that happened afterward. After Ronnie's passing, a GoFundMe was created for funeral expenses, which raised around $16,000. People noticed Chrisean didn't donate or attend the funeral, which, while not evidence of anything, added more fuel to social media speculation. Now pause. Here, all of this is swirling in the online space. These are rumors, guesses, theories, interpretations, emotional reactions, and incomplete pieces of a highly complicated puzzle. None of it is proven. None of it is confirmed. But the internet is running with it. So now that we've laid the foundation, let's move deeper into the storm of rumors, suspicions, and online theories that have kept this situation boiling. The internet detectives, bloggers, and commentary channels have turned this tragedy into a giant puzzle, and every day someone claims to have found a new piece. What makes this whole thing even more tangled is how many parts of the story intersect. The paternity issue, the tension with Zeus Network, the tragedy involving Ronnie, and the people close to Chrisean who are being pulled into the discussion. Let's start with something that sent social media into a frenzy: the claim that police had supposedly tapped the phone of a major suspect again. Strictly rumor and online talk, not confirmed by authorities. This speculation centered around lled, the longtime friend of Chrisean's circle, whom the internet has labeled everything from a loyal protector to someone involved in street activity. Because of those labels, the rumor mill has kept his name spinning non-stop. lled, feeling the pressure of being dragged into the center of attention, posted a video trying to clear the air. He claimed loudly that he had nothing to do with the shooting, insisting that the internet turned him into a target simply because his name kept popping up in videos and comments. He said detectives came to his grandmother's house to speak with him, but he emphasized that he hadn't been arrested or charged. According to him, investigators were watching him only because of online speculation that spiraled out of control. But in the world of social media, denials don't stop the theories, they feed them. People online pointed out that he had known Ronnie's family for a long time and had a complicated history with the law. They questioned why investigators were allegedly so focused on him if nothing connected him to the case. Some speculated he was being watched because of his proximity to certain individuals. Others suggested the police were simply following every lead, especially those that went viral. And then you have the fact that some content creators openly admit they brought his name into the spotlight, which might have influenced public opinion. But again, none of this is confirmed. It's all just the murky world of online rumor making. This brings us back to Chrisean because her name keeps appearing in the center of every discussion. Some people online believe she may have information about what happened, while others believe she is being unfairly accused by the public simply because of the chaos that has followed her career and relationships. Either way, whispers and speculation have been intensifying. One moment that sent shockwaves through the internet was a series of posts from Chrisean herself. These posts were cryptic, emotional, and easily interpreted as something deeper, as when read in the context of the tragedy. She wrote statements like, "Everyone who tries to speak on my son always ends up losing their life." People online immediately connected this to Ronnie, interpreting it as some sort of admission or clue. Again, nothing is confirmed. These are just the interpretations that social media ran with. But the impact was huge, especially because she then listed examples, including the father of her child being incarcerated and her ex passing away. The language she used made people stop and analyze her words. And when someone mentions situations like these in such a blunt and emotional way, the public tends to latch onto it and create their own narratives. Whether she meant it literally, symbolically, or emotionally is unknown, but the reactions show how volatile the internet can be when tragedy, fame, and drama collide. Now, let's step back for a moment and talk about the situation that had already been bubbling beneath the surface before Ronnie's passing. The paternity storyline. This is a major part of why so many theories have surfaced. Months earlier on a reality show, a DNA test claimed that Blueface was the father of Chrisean's child. But people online started questioning the legitimacy of that test long before the tragedy happened. Not only did bloggers point out inconsistencies in the document, but a phone call widely circulated across the internet seemed to show that the case number listed belonged to a completely different couple altogether. According to the online recordings, the testing department claimed the names provided didn't match the case number at all. That fueled claims that the document might have been altered or incorrectly presented. A huge allegation. Many people online began saying that DNA results were fabricated for the sake of reality TV drama. Again, no confirmation, just widespread speculation. Some pointed fingers at Zeus Network, arguing that the show needed a sensational storyline and that keeping Blueface at the center of the narrative benefited everyone involved in the production. Others claimed there was no reason to doubt the test at all, accusing bloggers of twisting information and creating a conspiracy where none existed. But regardless of what's true, the confusion surrounding the test added a new layer of chaos to the whole situation. Because if Blueface wasn't the father, then that would mean Ronnie was. And that could explain why he was pushing for a legal DNA order. That legal DNA confrontation at the mall, which went viral, suddenly gained a darker significance in the minds of the online detectives. And here's where the theories turn heavy. Some people online began suggesting that the potential results of that court-ordered DNA test might have motivated someone to silence Ronnie permanently. That's the central theory circulating the internet, not proven. Strictly rumor, but it has been repeated in comments, videos, and posts thousands of times. None of this is confirmed, but the internet doesn't wait for evidence. It builds its own conclusions. Even Chrisean's sister was pulled into the discussion when she commented that a DNA test with Ronnie had been scheduled, but never took place. That added more fuel to the speculation that something larger was happening behind the scenes, and that Ronnie was determined to learn the truth. And if you think the internet was going to leave it at that, you'd be mistaken. Because then the video creators and commentators dug even deeper, focusing on something unexpected: Zeus Network. Many online voices argued that Zeus had a huge role in crafting the paternity storyline and therefore may have indirectly created the tension surrounding it. Speculation began swirling about whether the network manipulated documents, storylines, or narratives for ratings. Again, none of this is verified, but the accusation resurfaced repeatedly in discussions once Ronnie's death became a public topic. This all circles back to Lemuel Plummer, the CEO of Zeus, because some online reports claim that he now has receipts. He's ready to reveal about everything from the disputes with Chrisean to the paternity controversy to the tragic shooting. Whether he actually does or if this is just internet exaggeration remains unclear. But with everything happening publicly, the arguments, the accusations, the cryptic posts, the tragedy, the family grieving, the DNA confusion, the rumors about involvement, the internet has practically turned this into an unofficial investigation. Now that we've gone over the setup, the tragic shooting, the DNA drama, the cryptic posts, and the simmering Zeus Network tension, it's time to dive even deeper into the online chatter, rumors, and conflicting narratives that have kept this story alive. The chaos isn't just about what happened. It's about who might have had knowledge, motive, or influence over events, and how every piece seems to intersect. One of the most striking aspects is the alleged TS, escalation between Chrisean and Ronnie prior to his death. Social media commentators have pointed back to December 2024, when Ronnie reportedly confronted Chrisean at a mall. According to videos and posts shared online, the dispute centered on legal papers regarding a DNA test. Chrisean allegedly called authorities, claiming she didn't know Ronnie despite him confronting her about the paternity case. Viewers online immediately highlighted the apparent contradiction. If he was pursuing the truth about the child's paternity, why would she act as if she had no connection to him? This moment, captured on social media, became a focal point for speculation. People online interpreted this incident as a turning point in the tension. It wasn't just a minor argument, it became evidence, at least in the eyes of viewers, of escalating stakes. Blogs and commentary videos repeatedly brought up this mall confrontation, dissecting every gesture, word, and reaction for clues. Social media users debated whether Chrisean was trying to delay or prevent the DNA test, and whether Ronnie's determination might have threatened her public image or personal narrative. Then comes the financial angle. Rumors have circulated that Chrisean didn't contribute to the GoFundMe campaign for Ronnie's funeral despite it raising a significant amount, reportedly $16,000. Online discussions suggest this absence fueled theories that she may have had ulterior motives or simply chose to distance herself, while some argue that not attending or donating is not proof of wrongdoing. The optics, according to the social media chatter, made her look indifferent or suspicious. In the world of online scrutiny, perception is almost as powerful as proof. Next, the DNA storyline grew even more complicated when social media sleuths analyzed the supposed DNA test results. Recall the discrepancy with the case number, the document that claimed Blueface as the father did not match the correct patient according to a phone call with the testing department. Many online theorists claim this suggests the test was falsified for television purposes, likely to benefit the storyline of the reality show. Drama sells. Viewers online immediately questioned if Blueface wasn't the father, who really was? And here's where Ronnie's name reemerges. If he was indeed the biological father, then his pursuit of the court-ordered DNA test gains a new, darker significance in light of his death. The online community quickly drew connections, speculating that someone might have wanted to prevent the truth from coming out. The timing of events fueled additional suspicions. Ronnie's confrontation with Chrisean occurred months after the questionable DNA test was produced for the show. He was actively pursuing legal action to confirm paternity. But then, before any results could be obtained, he was tragically shot and killed. Social media users argued that the coincidence raised red flags. Was it purely coincidental? Or was there a motive to stop him from obtaining the results? These questions drove countless hours of analysis online, with speculation amplifying at every turn. Meanwhile, Chrisean's social media posts became a subject of intense scrutiny. Many interpreted her cryptic statements as veiled references to events that had occurred, including the death of Ronnie and other figures in her life. Phrases like, "Everyone that speaks on my son loses their life," sparked both fear and fascination online. Commentators disassembled her posts, interpreting subtle wording, punctuation, and even the choice of which names to mention as potential clues. The internet quickly turned into a forum for theorists trying to determine whether these were confessions, warnings, or simply emotional venting. At the same time, rumors around Zeus Network intensified. Social media posts and online commentary suggest that the network may have played a role in fabricating storylines, including the falsified DNA test. Many viewers argue that the company prioritized ratings and engagement over truth, pushing narratives that benefited their programming. Lemuel Plummer, the CEO, reportedly has knowledge of internal events, and speculation has it that he might disclose details that could explain the controversies. Some online users theorize that his potential revelation could either clear Chrisean or implicate her further, depending on the documents and communications he shares. Another layer that added fuel to the fire involves Quell, Chrisean's close friend and alleged gang affiliation. The internet has been obsessed with his possible involvement, noting that he was reportedly a target of police investigation again, according to online rumors. Some people think Quell could have been connected to the shooting due to his proximity to Chrisean and his alleged ties, while others argue he may be completely innocent, a scapegoat fueled by online speculation. Quell himself tried to publicly deny any involvement, stating that he had no part in Ronnie's death and was only being watched because of social media rumors. But as many commentators point out, the digital footprint left by posts, videos, and comments often overshadows personal statements. Meanwhile, Ronnie's mother became a pivotal figure in online discussions. Her posts mourning her son and referencing music associated with Chrisean's rivals intensified online theories. Many theorists interpreted these posts as subtle accusations or warnings, and they used her words to build narratives linking Chrisean, Quell, and Zoo's network to the events surrounding Ronnie's death. Every post, comment, and interaction became dissected, generating countless threads debating motives, timing, and implications. The internet didn't stop there. Online sleuths, connected social media, reality show footage, legal filings, and public records to construct possible scenarios. Was the DNA test falsified deliberately? Did someone have a motive to prevent the truth from coming out? Could the shooting have been premeditated to protect secrets? Even if none of these theories are confirmed, they fueled constant speculation, turning an already tragic story into a sprawling online investigation. Finally, the story's human side shouldn't be ignored, and the internet has picked up on that as well. Despite the chaos, those close to Chrisean claim that she has expressed grief over Ronnie's death. Social media users debate the authenticity and timing of these posts, interpreting them through layers of rumor and bias. Some argue she is mourning sincerely, while others maintain her posts are cryptic warnings or veiled confessions. This duality is part of why online discussions are so polarized. Every word, action, or post is analyzed for hidden meaning. This combination, the tragedy of Ronnie's death, the questionable DNA test, social media, cryptic posts, Zeus network involvement, and the alleged gang connection of Quell has created a perfect storm for speculation. No one knows the full truth yet, but the internet has produced endless narratives, theories, and wild interpretations. The drama continues to evolve daily as new videos, posts, and rumors surface, keeping the story alive in the minds of viewers and followers. At this point, the situation is less about evidence and more about perception, timing, and connections. Every new post, comment, or rumor is picked up, dissected, and reinterpreted, often creating more questions than answers. That's why this story isn't just a tragedy, it's a full-scale mystery with multiple angles, moving parts and theories that intertwine Chrisean rock, Ronnie Doe, Quell, Zeus Network, and even public figures like Blueface. As the saga unfolds, the final layers of this tangled drama are emerging, bringing even more questions and theories to the forefront. Social media, gossip channels, and online content creators are dissecting every detail, trying to connect dots between Chrisean rock, Ronnie Doe, Zeus Network, Quell, and even Blueface. The conversations online suggest that this story isn't just about a tragic shooting, it's about hidden motives, corporate manipulation, and the consequences of fame in the digital age. One of the key points online revolves around Chrisean's cryptic posts. Fans and internet sleuths alike have pointed to her statements like, "Everyone that speaks of my son loses their life," as a chilling hint that she may have knowledge of, or even involvement in what happened to Ronnie. Analysts on forums have noted the pattern of these posts referencing past relationships, naming specific individuals and highlighting outcomes in a seemingly deliberate way. Some interpret these as emotional outbursts fueled by grief, while others see them as veiled warnings or even confessions. Either way, they've fueled speculation that she is at the center of the controversy. Meanwhile, Zeus Network and its CEO, Lemuel Plummer, have become central figures in the unfolding story. Rumors indicate that the network may have had a hand in fabricating or manipulating storylines for reality shows, particularly involving DNA tests. The falsified DNA document allegedly naming Blueface as the father of Chrisean's child is a prime example. Social media users have dug into this, pointing out the discrepancies in case numbers and patient names, suggesting that the network may have prioritized entertainment over truth. The narrative circulating online implies that Zoo's network may have used the falsified DNA story to boost ratings for drama cells, inadvertently or perhaps deliberately triggering a chain of events that contributed to the tragedy surrounding. Ronnie Doe Quell's involvement is another critical aspect of the narrative. As a close friend of Chrisean and with alleged gang ties, Quell has been a focus of police investigation and online speculation. He publicly denied any involvement, stating that he was being targeted due to social media rumors rather than evidence. Yet the internet continues to scrutinize his connection to Chrisean and the timing of events leading up to Ronnie's death. Online forums have theorized that his proximity to Chrisean may have made him a scapegoat or even a participant in activities linked to the tragedy. Whether innocent or not, his reputation and relationships are under intense public pressure. Adding another layer to the story is Ronnie's mother, whose posts have sparked intense debates online. She shared a message stating, "Y'all really unalive my son," while playing a song by one of Chrisean's rivals. Many online interpreters took this as an accusation or a coded statement about who might have been involved in Ronnie's death. Every post and comment from her is dissected, analyzed, and woven into speculative narratives that suggest potential motives or alliances. Her grief, combined with social media dynamics, has made her a pivotal figure in understanding how the public interprets the tragedy. The timing of events adds yet another layer of intrigue. Ronnie was actively pursuing a court-ordered DNA test to confirm paternity, which may have challenged Chrisean's public narrative about Blueface. The fact that he was tragically killed before the test could be completed has been described by online theorists as highly suspicious. Many point to the possibility that someone wanted to prevent the truth from emerging, a scenario that has kept viewers and commentators intensely engaged. This timing, combined with social media posts and cryptic statements, creates a compelling story that blurs the line between fact and speculation. Then there's the angle of public perception versus reality. The internet has become an unofficial court of law, where fans and